All right. When we left off, you guys had just cleared out kind of the lower area, fought off a giant plant, a flower, and rescued Tessa from inside of a pod. You discovered some small plant creatures, rescued them from a cage, and began kind of looting some treasure and stuff from the area. Opened up a small box and were looking at some books and stuff on the shelf when you heard a strange noise from upstairs, then the whispered word, Martin?
Did anyone else hear that?
Isn't it early for her to be awake?
I guess so.
What time of day is it?
Like 1.
Yeah, it's way too early.
Somebody woke her up.
Shh. I'm gonna start making my way out into the hallway towards the mother and the father.
Okay, so you begin making your way out into the hallway, and you see Liam and Tess is off to one side. Liam's kind of doting over her a little bit, checking her out. You see her kind of slap away his hands every once in a while as he's like trying to check her out for wounds and brushing her hair out of her face and constantly asking the question, "You okay? Are you sure you're okay? Are you all right?" And then as you come walking out, he just kind of looks up at you, is like, "So, do we get an escort back down to the boat? We're not supposed to be here."
Do you really want to stay at the boat alone?
Well, they were gonna leave and come back for us.
And then you hear again, "Martin, is that you?"
We should get them out of here.
We should. Yeah.
All right. So I'll stick my head back in there. Like, we have to get these two back down to the boat, and then we can figure out what that is.
Alright, should a couple of us stay behind, just outside of the doors?
I don't think so.
Probably shouldn't split the party.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first rule.
Alright, let's go then.
It's the first job.
As you begin gathering up the things, do you actually gather up any items?
I'm gonna take the books,
Which books?
the 5 green books.
Okay, make sure you write that on your sheet. What else?
I think that was the only thing of interest for me.
The thing in the chest.
Well, we already grabbed that.
Yeah, that's heavy. I
Who's
can't
got
carry that.
Yeah, that crystal is 25 pounds. Who's got the crystal?
Carry it.
I can carry the crystal.
So you tuck the crystal away inside your backpack, possibly wrapped up in your own bedroll. Kind of keep it safe.
Keep it secret.
What are you two doing in the meantime? You see the black scaled dragonborn scooping the books off the top shelf and into our backpack as quickly as possible.
I don't think there's anything of interest in the chest for me.
It was just the crystal in the chest, right?
And a blanket.
The blanket.
And I don't need books. I've got my fists.
Well, you could tape a book to your.
I guess so.
Fist, I
Make
guess.
a wider surface to punch with. I'm just gonna make my way out and follow.
Cool.
Okay.
Use
As
your
you make your way out into the hallway, give me a perception check.
17?
As you make your way out into the hallway, you notice at first you hear it, but you're not really certain as to what's going on. But you look over and you see the one that's been referred to as mother and father are quietly whispering to one another in the language that the strange plant folk have been chittering away at one another at the entire time you've been here.
Who spoke that language?
No.
I had the spell, comprehend
Is
languages.
the spell still going?
I think it's either 1 hour or 8 hours. I think it was 8 hours though.
I don't think it's 8 hours.
I would like it to be 8 hours.
I know you would like it to be 8 hours.
Has it been an hour since you cast it?
It's been about 30 minutes.
Okay.
So regardless, I can hear them conversing. Can I hear them though?
Oh,
I'm gonna come out.
you're
the
right in
hall.
front of them.
No, technically she's in there
got-
gathering
Oh,
the
books.
books.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go find her and say
Yeah, it's 1 hour. Oh well.
those little ones out there are whispering, and I don't trust them. They're weird. Can you go see what they're saying?
Sure. I'll load the last book, stuff the last book in my bag carefully,
Okay.
and then
So
not like obviously, but I guess I'll like sidle up to the edge of the doorway here to see if I can hear what they're saying.
okay. 10 pounds of books.
Got it. 10
Um,
lumps.
Alright, so give me a perception check, see if you can make out their whispering.
I rolled that one. 9.
So you're listening, but between the rain and kind of creating a little bit of white noise and stuff from outside, especially on the glass ceiling of the
Arboreum.
arboreum next door, that you can't really make out what they're saying. But you do hear some creaking footboards up above. And something heavy is walking around up above you. You hear a very distinct thump, 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 and little bits of dust kind of drifting downwards.
I'll lean over to the Black family and be like, if you guys are leaving, we need to go.
We are waiting on you.
I'll start walking this way then.
All right. Let's
Is
go,
there
everybody.
anything of interest in the rooms?
What room?
For-
Rooms.
The rooms that we were in. The one with the
I think
chest
we
and then
already
the other one.
got it all last
Yeah,
time.
a crystal and some books.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm ready to go.
So, 1, 2.
You don't actually have to move the minis, just tell me what you're doing.
I'm
As a matter of
leaving.
fact, it's better if you don't.
Okay.
We're leaving the house.
Right. So what I am going to be doing for my character is try and lead first, and then when we get to the stairs, I'm gonna stop and wait for other people to go past me.
Okay, so you make your way over in that direction. You notice that the strange little plant creatures are quiet. They haven't really been quiet since you've encountered them.
Right.
They've just kind of been chittering away the whole time.
Do they seem
But
to
now
act,
they seem very quiet.
But do they seem to act any differently towards us? Like more aggressive or?
No, they
Or
just kind of
anything like
stand
that.
out of your way and,
Okay.
and watch.
3D.
But as you make your way towards that the
The stairs.
entrance
Yeah.
entryway, you are leading the Liam and Tessa out.
Yeah, I'll
Or
leave them
just-
out after he pauses at the stairs. I'll
Okay.
keep going.
Yep.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna follow them and then I'm gonna stick close to her, but do you want to say goodbye and thank you to them?
We'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we're gonna drop these ones off the boat and then
You
come back.
can't speak their language. You can only hear it.
I can only judge them.
But they might be able to understand
Wait,
us.
who spoke it then?
Nobody spoke it.
These two speak.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
Oh.
Well, I'm assuming common because they're.
Yeah,
No.
Because they were speaking to you, so that's what it was.
Well, all of us, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you first. That's what
Mm-hmm.
So what are you doing?
I'm following close to Tess and Liam.
Okay.
Same.
Winsu and Kara. All right, so you guys kind of exit out of the main hall there, and as you are,
This is an upper. area,
yeah, you
right?
can look up from up there to
So
the
as I'm
second
passing,
floor.
I'm kind of scanning around because I want to
All right,
make sure.
as you are kind of trailing along behind, and you kind of look upwards, you swear you see two small beady eyes kind of like look down at you. They seem to be burning with a pale blue flame
Blue.
in
flame.
empty eye sockets. Roughly halfling size and height. And just kind of, and you see this form, you see this skeletal, gaunt hand grasp the railing of the banister up above and look down, and as the shadows pull away from the face, you see the skeletal, gaunt face of a halfling looking down at you, and its mouth just kind of unhinges and it just kind of like silently screams at you as its other hand like points forward, like this bony, pointed, clawed hand just kind of points in your direction. And you hear the thumping growing from upstairs.
That's when I rush and kind of smack into the back of him and
Yeah.
try to explain to him what I just sort of saw or something.
So I look at the direction. Is it still there?
Yeah, you see it kind of like it's gripping the banister and it's kind of pointing through the railings. And you see this larger figure kind of come up behind it. It has, at first you're not really sure what it is. It has this kind of like elongated face with all these like jagged teeth and then these two curved horns that kind of curve back over its head. And then as it kind of enters into the little bit of the light, because you have your torch, you see the glint of decaying red scales kind of lingering, as well as some like decrepit chainmail and a large shield with a 5-headed chromatic dragon blazoned across the front of it. In its other hand is a massive curved sword. It too, empty eye sockets burning with these tiny pinpoints of blue light.
Right. We need to get the kids out of here now.
So, this stairwell?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, so you guys, since you and him are the last ones, you kind of shuffle everyone through it, and you can hear the footsteps moving their way, not running, but moving at a
Methodical
decent
Fast
pace.
clip.
as you guys exit out of the doors and into the kind of the courtyard out in front of the tower. Where you guys want to go from here?
Once we get clear of the building and we're outside, we don't have to worry about noise as much. I'm gonna tell them to run.
Okay,
Start running
down the path.
down the path. Get to your boat.
All right, so Liam and Tess Liam will run out first because he remembers where the traps
Yeah,
are.
remember about the traps.
And since Tess didn't come up this way, she is unaware of them.
He's got longer legs.
What are you doing? You told him to run. You just standing there? I need to know what
I still
you
have
are doing.
mage armor on, so I'm gonna stand here and take a defensive position
Put
towards
your
the door.
mini there.
I'm waiting for whatever it was that was in there to come out.
Okay.
Since
Kara?
I'm probably the fastest out of the group, I'm gonna follow the kids down and just kind of lead them down,
Okay.
just to make sure there's nothing.
Take a little bit of responsibility for the
Mhm.
young ones.
Yeah.
You add a little bit of punchy muscle to their escape.
Yeah, just to
All right,
make sure they
so
get there.
let's bring your mini over here. Can I have Liam and Tessa's mini too? Just so that
Yeah.
they're over here.
So that's-
What are you doing?
I'm gonna stand behind Calliste, but not like right behind, just like in the door. Yeah. Like
All right,
Not like too close.
and then you two
No,
coming
not-
out of the
not like-
house
that.
from
More in
behind
the
them.
middle.
so I see
There.
that she's taken up a defensive posture there, so I am going to try to be on the right in front here.
Okay.
I'm just trying to.
And Winsu kind of moves out there with it. Do you guys are you closing the door or anything like that, or are you
Yeah.
just moving out?
Um,
I want to close the door.
well, we're
Well,
expecting
you're
a,
way back here.
a
Though.
fight, so
I'm assuming that the small plant people have someplace to hide.
well,
Or that
there-
because they're native to the house, that whatever it's up there that looks sketchy is not going to attack them. So
We hope.
I'm going to basically ready an acid splash and wait to see what happens.
Okay, so you're just waiting out there. You're not gonna run down the path or anything of that nature.
I feel like someone else should go with.
'cause I thought that we were gonna take them all the way down to the boat,
Okay.
not just out to the path.
Once they clear the bend, I'll start following.
Okay, so at this point, Winsu and Lu, and you can actually hear the thumping of footsteps coming down the wooden stairwell, just on the other side of the doorway. It sounds more than a pair of footsteps as well.
I'm gonna.
Go on that.
I was gonna say, should we maybe follow Kara first and we can maybe get a better position somewhere else?
I'm just waiting for them to clear the bend and then we can go.
That's fine with me. I can't think of any
Alright, so at this point you guys begin running off down the path. I'm assuming you're going to dash and run. Who is the person in the very back?
I'll say me.
All
I'm
right.
like kind of more defensive of us. I will hold up the rear.
Okay. As you guys are making your way down this kind of muddy path, trying to be mindful of your foot where you step and everything because of the traps that you saw. Plus the ground is a little slippery from all of the rain, which is still falling from the dismal gray sky above. You look back over your shoulder and you see the red skeletal creature that you saw before. The small halfling plus two others. One appears to be a skeletal dwarf, and you're pretty sure the other one is either an elf or a human.
Okay.
And they seem to... They basically step out through the doorway, but they'd only go maybe about 10 feet past
And then stop.
the door. They just kind of stop.
Okay.
They seem almost hesitant to go any further than that. Then just behind them, kind of looming up as like some sort of like strange blue light, seems to be like moving into that into the backlighting these skeletal creatures, and you can hear this low, sad wailing and weeping coming from that direction. And again, the word that just seems to carry, no matter the distance, Martin. You come around the bend and making your way down, and you see Kara is helping Tess around a rather treacherous little landslide trap that basically would tumble some little logs down the way and everything, making sure that she gets over to like 2 or 3 different tripwires that could potentially set it off. And you guys kind of catch up to where they are.
Okay.
Do you just continue on down the path?
I think so. Like, I mean, I'll relay that it looks like they stopped. There was a few. It looked like another adventuring party almost raised from the dead. There was a dwarf and an elf that was undead as well.
Necromancy. Nice.
After a few more minutes of travel, especially since you guys are kind of going at a hurried pace, you get back down to the area where the boat was tied off and everything, and Liam basically helps his young sister get into the boat, and she kind of turns with the strange, unnatural eyes that she has and looks at the group, and she's like, "Are you going to go back? That woman is so sad."
Was she, did you hear anything else that she said besides Martin?
No, I didn't get a chance to talk to her. We left so quickly.
We just thought it'd be dangerous for you to stay.
We're gonna try and put her with Martin to help settle her spirit.
She would probably like that. But you gotta be careful. I know she doesn't mean it, but she can be very dangerous.
Well, speaking of dangerous, you guys should shove too.
And Liam kind of, once he gets her settled, he kind of looks at you as like, well, the agreement was that I would stay until nightfall. Do you still want me to do that? Or shall I shove off and assume that you guys are lost to the darkness of the tower until morning, and then I can come back and see if your corpses are lootable?
That's not unreasonable.
I think waiting till sundown would be appreciated.
The
We
first
did
sign
rescue
of
your sister.
trouble, push off and then come back and check for us.
Yeah, if something's gonna attack you.
You're on your own. No offense. I appreciate you guys helping me get my sister out, but my sister is my first priority.
I'm gonna get in my pouch and get out 2 of the pearls that I've got from the Sahagan and give those to him. Like, if you have to run, you can use these to bribe the dragon turtle.
He's like, thanks. Puts them in a pouch. And goes over and kind of sets up the the pole that he's got, kind of shoves it into the mud and puts a tarp up over it and everything to kind of create a little bit of a shelter from the rain. Not that it does them a lot of good; they're already dripping wet, but
It's a thought that counts.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to go back up there?
Hold on. Before we do, I'm going to cast Prestidigitation. I can think of it. And dry them off.
oh, very kind of you. Good.
Alright, I guess.
Liam pulls out some food and starts feeding Tess and is like, "It's been a while. You guys want some of this before you leave?" And you see it's some more of the leftovers from last night's meal.
We could.
I'll take a bit.
We could short rest. And anyone who's
Gives you
hurt,
some-
you can spend
some-
your hit die to heal up.
Bits of food,
Yeah, 'cause
some
I'm at
bread,
5
and
points.
some
That might be
cheese and
good
stuff
before I
that
go
he's
back.
got.
Thank you.
So at level 3, you've got 3 hit dice, and you can spend as many as you want. You can
To
spend
get
them.
hit points back.
Yeah. So you roll your dice. So in your case, it's what, a D8. So you can roll that as up to 3 times, and whatever numbers you roll, that's how many health you heal.
Plus your constitution
Plus your
modifier.
But you can only do that once a day.
No.
Well,
however many hit
however
dice you
many
have,
hit dice you have,
Oh, okay.
and you earn like half
your level back
your level back on
after a long rest,
after a long rest. So
which is like a full-on like 8 hours of rest kind of thing.
So I could do it 3 times, but that would take up all of mine for the day.
Right.
yeah.
I don't think we're gonna rest in that castle, so I'll do.
Yeah, and you can do them one at a time. That way you don't feel like you've wasted dice.
Yeah.
Like if you happen to roll exceedingly well on the first 2, you can always save that final D8 for something
So
else.
that plus my con modifier,
Mm-hmm.
What would mine
so
be?
I'd get 10
So yours
back.
is also 3 dice.
sorry?
I'd get
but
10 back if I
Do you
did
remember
that.
what kind of dice you
I don't
rolled
know how many
for your
you
hit
got.
points?
So-
I'm at 5 hit points
Okay.
of the 25,
Okay.
so
I did not write it down. I will look it up. What would that be under?
It would just be under your class.
13 back.
13, so that puts you at 18 total.
Mm-hmm.
Not terrible.
No. Better than 5. I forgot
Yeah.
that the plant messed me up really bad last time.
I'll use
How
one.
about you? You using any of your
I didn't
dice?
take any damage, but I am gonna use my arcane recovery to do recover 2 spell slots because I can do half my level rounded up to
Okay.
recover spell slots.
So either a second level or 2 first level.
Oh, at 2 first levels, so I have all my first level spells.
Nice. Winsu?
I regained 8. I used
Alright.
2 dice, so
Okay.
I'm trying to find
that
So it
leaves
should be
me
under
with-
classes under sorcerer.
Sorcerer, I'm pretty sure
Where-
sorcerer's a D6.
Here.
So it's alphabetical, so you're an F for fighters. So
So I used 17 hit points still right now. I don't know if I should use my 3rd die.
so
No
first
matter
page.
Huh?
What's your total?
This is the
25 by
Oh,
sorcerer.
that's this one.
Mhm.
I'm at 18
Hit
out of
points,
25.
hit dice 1d6.
Okay.
So you have
But I have one more
1d6
dice, so
plus your
roll.
constitution
Yeah.
modifier, and you can do that up to 3
You
times.
should probably in the block write D6.
Yeah, because that's what that.
That'll help.
Thank you.
Roll a d6.
If I
DM says
How many-
do I
you're
get
gonna
my
die.
key points back in a short rest?
Yeah.
I don't know. You'd have to look under monk for.
So
I
you
should
had,
probably do it.
Look under key points so to
Nice
tell you
dice.
when you get
and
them
you get a
back.
+2 to each roll. So that's 6 hit points back. So you're at 16 and 5, so 21.
Yeah, I have to do a short or long
Wait.
rest.
Okay, there you go.
So
Should
you
I
get your key
erase
point.
these two and write 21?
Yeah,
Oh,
7.
how long's a short rest?
10 minutes. Right?
Well, an hour.
This says
an hour?
Okay, yeah, because this says I have to spend at least 30 minutes of resting meditation to regain my key points.
I generally do a half hour for a short rest, but it's supposed to be like an hour.
All right, that's good. Another good thing about resting,
Yep.
I could meditate, eat my food.
Yeah, I don't think paladins get spells back on a short rest. So.
No.
If you're a warlock, however, don't worry, I'll kill you off soon.
No, you don't have to kill me. I like this character. It's just I liked Silent quite a bit actually.
I like silent.
Silent.
Well, he did have fine clothes.
Okay.
All right. So you guys spend some time there, about an hour. So the sun kind of drifts through the sky. Not that you can see it through the dark clouds. Occasionally, the wind is silenced by a clap of thunder, though you don't really see much of the lightning itself, so it just seems to be relatively distant, possibly out over the ocean. But it's just kind of wet and kind of unpleasant for the most part as you sit here eating a little bit of food, meditating,
Studying my spell book.
studying your spell book, basically kind of recouping some of your binding up wounds and stuff so that you can potentially go back up and continue exploring the tower. But at this point, you know that you only have maybe 4 or 5 hours until the sun completely sets. Which means that you don't, and since she is awake, you're not certain as to what to expect up above.
Yeah.
I have that potion that I can have her.
Which potion?
The dark bluish green vial.
Okay.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah.
she already look at that?
No.
No.
I can try and identify it.
Okay. Arcana check? Because I'm assuming you don't have the identify spell.
8.
Yeah, you don't know. It is a mystery to you. You can't recall having seen a potion in this.
It's really rainy, so that's probably throwing it off.
I got a 3.
There's another
I could try
skull.
and roll.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, you can try.
You're like, oh
Anyone
wait,
can
blah, blah,
try.
blah, blah, blah. Motherfucker.
20.
Actually, it is a type of poison.
So don't bleb bleb.
Well, that makes sense. You know what it is. You're a rogue. You use poisons. Isn't that one of the rogue abilities? Or is that in alchemy?
Both.
Making poisons?
I think that's in
Stuart.
a video game.
I remember reading something when we were
Maybe
playing.
under assassin.
Yeah.
He's not an assassin. So.
But in a video game, yes, in Vanguard, if you chose alchemy, you could use poisons on your dagger.
All right. So you've kind of looked over to your stuff, gathered your wits, and begin making your way back up the path. As you get back to the top, you notice that the front door to the tower is now closed. I have all those miniatures, please. And you see all of the little
Kick them out.
plant people are kind of huddled, minus these guys. You see a number of them standing guard out in the front. There's one of those guys missing, but I don't know where he's at. Yeah, they're gone. But they seem to be standing guard in front of the door to the kind of run-down black stable.
Okay.
Think we should ask them about the adventurers?
Do you
Or
want these
the
guys?
dead guys?
They don't.
Yeah, that's fine.
They don't speak common.
Yeah.
Only the mother and father do.
Yeah. So trying to talk to them is not going to do much.
We could see what they're guarding though.
Yeah, and then they'll point their stick. I mean, we could see if they're aggressive to us if we go over, I suppose.
By the way, your spell is
More
done
off
at
by now.
this-
We could just assume that they're guarding the mother and father and just go into the tower. Or we could see if they're aggressive, see if the mother and father are inside, and see if we can talk to them about what happened while we were resting.
I say we try and go over there and see if they're aggressive. Just
weren't
walk
just aggressive
close
towards
to
me.
them.
Yeah, they liked you.
I can walk over there
Yeah,
and
they
see if they at
thought
least
you were
point spears at me.
interesting.
Good luck.
So you approach the cluster of strange little plant folk, and they just kind of look at one another and kind of begin chittering away. And one of them kind of steps forward and puts out a hand. He's not being threatening with a spear, but he's got it kind of off to the side. He's like,
And I just kind of
chitters at you.
point at my chest and point inside to see if he understands me.
He kind of looks at you. He's like, and he kind of points back to the direction he came from.
All right, so I'll turn back to you guys and be like, they're not letting us in.
Alright, we shouldn't probably disturb them.
We don't need to pick a fight with them.
No.
We let you live for an extra 15 minutes. Congratulations.
Pull out some coin.
I guess we'll.
Does the door look like it was repaired the same way that it's been? Just that kind of shoddy craftsmanship, propped up kind of thing?
Yeah. Well, you guys didn't
we
break
didn't
it
break
down.
it
You
down.
just opened it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're not going to repair it. I guess it. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess we'll go up. I will lead the way.
I will
so,
not.
So just
So
tell me if you want.
no,
How
just,
close we want to get.
so you approach the door and you get up there to it, and again,
Just
like you
open.
said, it's a terrible workmanship on the repairs for this thing. You're kind of looking at it, and there's like a little bit of cold that wasn't there before that seems to just kind of radiate outwards from the door itself.
Okay. Is there any way to tell if it's magically trapped? Not anything I probably have.
That would be.
Can you tell? Can either of you tell if this is trapped magically?
Can I make a knowledge arcana check? I mean, it wasn't before, but
I got a weird
23?
feeling.
23. You approach the door and you're kind of looking at it. You don't see any like sigils or anything, runes, or any kind of sign of spells, but you can feel the cold radiating off of it, and it's a type of cold that you recognize, kind of that ebb and flow of that cold sucking necrotic magic of necromancy has. You're not so certain that it's like a necromantic spell, but there is like the lingering,
death.
yeah.
I think it's just leftovers from whatever brought the party back from the undead. But I'm sure Wensu could check it out.
Sure.
All right. So you creep up to the door and you kind of look it over a couple of times. You don't touch it. You just kind of hand up there and you can feel the cold. You gather your tools and begin checking it for traps.
Mm-hmm. It's investigation, correct?
Yep.
21.
You kind of look it over. First, just visually, you don't see any signs of any kind of traps. Nothing that's altered since the last time you were inspected the door. And then you kind of check it, kind of peer inside. You're fairly certain that it is not trapped. You don't see any kind of sign that it's potentially trapped. Nor is it locked in any way, which you're not surprised considering that the door doesn't line up quite right for like its own original locking mechanism to function. And you can kind of peer inside and just the barest little bit of crack that you can have there with like the small amount of ambient light that comes through the overgrown windows and stuff. You can tell that there's not a bar or anything across the door. It's just
So they're just closed. They're not.
they appear to be just closed.
All right.
So I'll just take my
But-
dagger.
You do notice a slight shadow move across in front of the door. You're not exactly certain as to how close to the door, but there is something moving around
All right.
in that front room.
I'll get behind me, get ready, and I'll open the door.
All right. And I'm letting him know that I saw. Well, I'm letting everybody know that there's something moving.
All right. So is that where you're gonna be standing?
Yep.
So before he opens the door,
I guess I should identify him in this square.
alright, do you have a particular place that you wish to be that you are not currently marked as being?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay.
Can I move up a little?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
how? Okay.
Winston? You satisfied with where your miniature is at?
Yeah, because I can make a move.
Alright, so you reach
I'm just
over
gonna.
and
I'll pull both open,
All right.
so that way we can.
The light.
you just kind of do it like a quick, like ripping the band-aid off kind of motion.
Yeah.
Alright, so you reach up, pull the doors open. Let's see. Yep. As you pull the doors open, this one in this hand just kind of goes, flies open, kind of bounces off the frame a little bit, and then like the hinge kind of snaps and it just kind of falls and lands on the ground next to you with kind of a loud thud.
Wow.
and a splash, a little bit of mud kind of sprays up on like your boots and everything.
Ugh.
Not that you weren't already covered in mud, but
Yeah.
and then the other door kind of swings open, and inside you see a small. I don't know where my sixth one of these guys went. A small creature kind of skulking around, and he kind of turns and he looks at you like, "What the hell's going on?" And his eyes get all big, and then he recognizes that it's you guys. And he kind of stands up, puffs his chest out, kind of looks.
So it's my
and
guy.
he kind of swaggers over to the door.
All right. He doesn't look like he's possessed, as far as we can tell.
There's claw marks in the ceiling from where he just jumped down, but yeah.
But he swaggers up to right in front of the doors and everything. Just kind of looks at you guys. Kind of like goes past you, makes his way back over to the thing.
Okay.
But you do notice that he has something, kind of like it's sticking out of a pouch at his side. It looks like it might be. You're not really sure what it is, but it looks like it's a long rod or perhaps a wand or something that looks to be made out of a unicorn's horn.
I'm gonna tap Wensu on the shoulder, point at it. It's like.
Can I do a slide?
Basically telling him to fetch.
Can I do a sleight of hand as he's passing me?
You want to pick his pocket, basically? Yeah.
Send my unicorn
What do I
home in your
roll for
pocket.
that?
Sleight of hand.
It's a sleight of hand.
It's a sleight of hand.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. 13.
His perception, as you kind of reach out for it, he kind of turns and like, and starts chittering at you, and he pulls it out, and it's about yay long. This long, spiraling, pearlescent wand. It looks like a horn cut off of a unicorn.
What if? And then I'll hold out two pearls and point at it for him.
He kind of looks at it. He's like, kind of weighs it. Kind of looks at that. He's like,
Can I pull out?
Give
I
him a
have two
bunch
other
of
pearls.
copper.
Or 4. There's not enough.
he seems to be comparing the overall size of this item, since he has no concept of value.
Yeah.
I'm gonna scooch up because that's a wand and I'm into that shit.
What do I have?
I want to pull out my giant freaking shark tooth.
Oh.
Wow.
He's like, takes the sharp tooth. He's like, starts looking around, kind of looks at his spear that he's got. He's like, and he just kind of walks off with it back over to his group.
Just showing it off, like.
Yeah.
Look at this thing!
I admit, when you took that shark tooth, I was hesitant, but alright.
Oh, it works out in the end.
I guess. Get rid of my giant shark tooth. That was a cool souvenir too. We
Now
didn't
you
even
have
see
a
the shark.
unicorn horn.
I guess I didn't kill it.
Once you have a hold of it, you realize that it's not actually the horn of a unicorn. It is made out of basically magically shaped pearls.
That's ironic. This is made out of pearl. Can I attempt to identify it?
Do you want to take that amount of time? Because it's not like a one round kind
What
of.
does it smell like?
Right now it smells kind of like a mix of vanilla and rotted leaves.
That could go either way, honestly.
Well, probably because it's been sitting in a peak person's pocket.
I think I'm gonna hold on to this for later. We can assess what it is when we're finished.
Alright.
Kind of tuck it away in my bag.
Alright.
Alright, so peering into the foyer here, is there... What do we see? What do I see?
Alright, you see the stairs going up, just as before, and then kind of like the lingering shadows beyond. The little bit of a shaft of light coming from an upper window up here. Kind of gives you can see kind of the falling snow-like dust and stuff that's in the air. But you don't see any movement or sign of the creatures that you saw before.
So we don't hear anything either. It's silent.
It is completely silent inside. But there is just this strange, lingering cold.
I guess we just slowly make our way inside.
Alright.
Not too far in, I don't think.
Alright, as you enter into the entryway, you see, again, as you saw before, there are 2 doors on either side, kind of back and underneath the stairs. And then the archway that goes into the central room where you saw the walkways up above, where you saw the undead before. In here, those 2 doors are currently closed.
And we had them open before? Or were they
2 of
closed
the
before?
creatures came out, 1 out of each side previously.
Okay.
By creatures, I mean the actual little plant people. Now, you know what was in that room over there, although you didn't go into the other door that was in there. But you know that that room there where the cages were, is pretty much completely empty.
It's just the barracks where
Right.
the leaf people were sleeping.
Right.
But not the stick boys.
Should we assume that
I think they went back upstairs.
they went back upstairs?
I'm gonna assume
Maybe.
that. Do you want
Did
to-
any of
Doors
these-
are closed now, so
Right, but they were also in here when we left.
Did this room look like a kitchen at all?
No, it looked like it was a dining room, but everything was torn apart and smashed.
Okay. So we didn't go in this room.
Nope. Or the room over there. The only rooms that you've been in are the
The arboreum and the.
those rooms.
Okay.
Kind of.
I think it's safe to assume that whatever they are, they went upstairs.
Do we want to do a cursory search of the downstairs just to be thorough?
Well, yeah,
Or
we
do we-
didn't see all the rooms. I think that would be a good idea. Plus, if they come downstairs and we can't handle them, we've got a better chance of escaping if we go out.
And climbing the stairs,
We'll be loud.
well, and it's also giving us a bad advantage,
Disadvantage.
a disadvantage going up, so. Yeah, let's check downstairs first.
Okay.
All right. So, which of the doorways do you want to check out first, or do you want to check out the remainder of the area beyond the archway to see if anything has changed since your battle with the rather large flower?
I say we check these doors here first. They're closest.
Okay.
All right. So, which door do you want to go to?
I'll go right.
Okay. Wensu?
I guess I'll go to the other door just in case. Yeah.
You go over there. Where do you want to go?
I'll go to the left.
This one?
Okay. And you, Lou, where are you going?
I am basically just going to stand guard.
All right.
I'm gonna have my back to the staircase, peering up and just keeping an eye out for anything while
Okay.
they do the doors.
All right. So you walk over to a wooden door, pretty simple looking door, similar to the construction of the exterior doors, the ones that he opened in order for you guys to get in here. This door is got a couple of planks of wood that's basically nailed to it, where it looks like this door has basically been split right down the middle, and it's basically been nailed back together.
I will open the door.
Alright, so you reach over and pull it open. It kind of drags across the floor a little bit. And inside you see a piano. Probably at one time a very nice and very expensive piano, but now it's kind of worn. One of the legs is broken off, so it sits kind of all off to one side. And you see a bookshelf against the far wall. The large wall that's diagonal across from you over there is windows, but it's covered in a very heavy curtain, making the entire room fairly dark. I'm assuming at this point you have your drift globe out. But you don't see any obvious movement. There's bits of broken chairs, a couple of other things. Looks like maybe it was like a little small table with a vase or whatever on it that had been knocked over and broken. So you see the bits of broken porcelain next to a small table.
I'm just gonna turn around and I'm not gonna go in the room because I can see everything and there's nothing in there. It's not time to loot things. So we're just doing a general check around the house, right? So I'm just gonna turn back to which one are you?
Callista. Callista. I'm Callista.
Callista. Whatever
Yeah.
your name is, you know.
Callista and Callista.
Okay.
Yeah.
That there's books in there. So when we pass back through, if we have time, there's books in there.
Excellent. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Winsu, as you approach the door, you feel some cold. As you get closer to that door, it gets colder and colder and colder until as you get to the door, you see the moisture that is kind of ever present in this marshy home is slightly frosted over around the edges of it.
Baby aggro.
No, it's okay.
Is it a cat? Your cat sound like a Syrian. Shh.
Huh.
Don't open it.
Oh, don't do it.
I'm looking at him because he deals with or understands this dead stuff better than I do. Anyway. I make people dead, not not the other way around. This door is frozen.
I'll go over.
You're Arcana too, aren't you? Looking at them.
Does it appear to be locked or trapped in any way?
I haven't looked yet. I'll look for traps.
Okay.
At 7 apparently. I'm not playing craps tonight though. Investigation is 5, so
12.
12.
Looking it over, you can tell that it's not locked. Like most of the other doors here, it looks like it's been broken down or damaged in some way and then sloppily repaired.
Okay.
So it doesn't sit in a way that could potentially be locked. And you're fairly certain that it's not trapped.
I mean, I assume so, but
Inside whatever's in there is probably what's trapped.
hey
Can you
guys, Lensu says this door is really cold. That we might have trouble on the other side of this, inside this room. So I don't want to step back.
I see dead people.
Does anyone want to move before I open the door?
I'm going to maintain my position.
I'm gonna move back one. And like
Back this way or back this way?
That way.
That way?
Yeah. So
All right.
the people with the
I'm gonna make sure I
punches
have
can go in
my-
front.
Punchy punch, gonna get.
Sword and shield out and ready, and I'm gonna open the door.
You hear this
From the other side of the door, you hear this almost ominous whispering from the other side.
That's ominous.
Who's got
That's the
salt?
scariest sound ever.
Something happened. Technical issue.
Please stand by.
There it goes.
So do
But
you?
anyway, you hear this ominous whispering from the other side. Almost childlike.
Tessa, we told you to stay in the boat. Tessa.
Why would it be Tessa?
She's dead.
Creepy child
She
sounds.
is.
Is this an in or an out swinging door?
It is an outswinging door.
So like the one over there, where she had to pull it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you not remember that?
Well, she died
She
and
died
got
and came back.
resurrected.
But we couldn't tell any like. Oh,
Didn't-
she wasn't fiendish or undead.
She wasn't. I
She was
checked for that.
something. We weren't sure what.
Alright. Push.
Can I do a knowledge arcana check on the door though to see if there's like.
Yeah,
stuff
if you
going
want
on?
to basically move up and kind of shove some people kind of out of the way so you can get to it.
And then just like see if I can figure out what's going on or what's going on around it, sort of thing.
Okay.
10.
You have no idea. You can feel the cold. It's a type of cold that you recognize as being associated with necromancy and the undead and the kind of negative energy that they thrive upon.
Mm-hmm.
But that's only because you come from an area where this negative energy is so prevalent that it's literally cursed the entire kingdom.
Yeah.
Beyond that, you have no idea.
I didn't think of that. if they're undead, maybe I could try speaking with them, because I speak Infernal.
Do you want to ask if there's someone in there?
I could, or I could just open, like when you guys open the door, if they're in there, I can try, speaking.
I think it'd be better to ask them before you open the door, because we can hold the door shut.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. I'm gonna kind of call in Infernal. Is anyone in there?
You don't hear anything. No kind of response. But you do hear something, a strange, odd creaking sound. Then a slight squeak, like kind of like a hinge. And then a loud thump. And it goes thump, thump, thump.
It was in the room opposite us.
Where was
Yep.
it? In the
In
room?
that room that you were just asking people whether or not there's anybody in there.
What else could I ask?
Like a dog?
All I know is I can't even English. Not even English though. Or primordial. But it wouldn't be primordial.
Here.
Just open the
Whatever.
door.
Yeah,
Move.
step aside, let me open the door.
Yeah.
That way.
There was some movement in there. Something happened.
Perception check and a perception check.
7.
18.
18. As they're over there looking around, you're kind of like, you feel like a draft by your elbow for a second. You kind of look down and you see out of like a previously hidden little door, a small creature comes kind of out of it, kind of looks up at you and kind of giggles and has this gaunt skeletal face with little bits of wisps of this reddish hair along the cheek, along the chin and everything, and kind of bits of it still kind of lingering at the top of its head, but otherwise its face is just completely skeletal.
Yeah.
And it kind of looks up at you and chitters with this like evil grin, and these tiny pinpoints of blue light looking at you, and you see the gleam of a dagger in its hand.
Can I just punch him in the face? He surprised me, wouldn't my
you
gut
get-
reaction just
You
be
get to
with-
go at the same time it does.
Okay.
Everybody else will have to wait until
Initiative.
initiative to make a reaction.
15?
That's a hit.
And then-
Does a 16 hit you?
No, it does not.
Okay.
Nice.
So I'm going to do
18.
and a 20.
Yep.
12. I'm rolling. I rolled my initiative. 12.
So 12 points.
12 points.
Damn.
Okay. You write down 12 on your piece of paper.
Turn around.
And I got it. Do I have to wait for the next round?
Roll.
Right.
No, you're
Initiative?
rolling initiative.
Okay. So
No, this is
that-
a surprise round.
that was
Now
a
you're
surprise round. Okay.
actually
I got a
rolling
20
initiative.
for initiative.
Okay, bad guys.
20.
Okay, so bad guys and Kira are Simo again.
So we're just standing there trying to...
Slap me.
10 probably doesn't hit him then.
No, 10 does not hit.
Dang it. I have a 17.
17 hits. It gets a 14 against you, which will not hit.
Another 6 points.
Mark down 6. So it kind of comes out of this like little crawl space, and you're like, ah, psh, psh, and then it's like swings its wicked curved dagger at you. It's like, psh, psh, and it doesn't hit, and you kind of reach out and punch it one more time, and he's like, kind of looks up at you.
That makes it Lou's turn.
Power of Christ compels.
Then I'm gonna swing at him with Light Sworn.
Okay.
Oof. Critical miss.
Alright, so you run up to swing at it, and it's just kind of like ducks underneath it. And you swear it's giggling.
Hell no. Thea's turn. She's gonna shoot it with acid splash. So I'm gonna move to here so I have line of sight. Go.
You can just.
Why am I doing that? I don't need that. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. You don't get to use my roll.
DC 13, if I remember right.
It fails.
Nice. So it takes 1 point of damage. Suck it.
got the
It's
thing.
flick a little bit of acid on
Right.
it.
Wensu.
Get a
So it's
drop,
like
right? It's
a little bit on its cheekbone as it kind of sizzles a
Gotta
little
move.
bit of
yeah,
smoke.
Couple ones left.
Position where I can get to it and I'll attack him.
Stab him.
Stab.
Stick him with the pointy end.
Maybe not. 10.
It's a Game of Thrones quote. 10.
10? That does not hit.
Kalista.
Rolling towards the boxes.
I need to stop letting it roll
I'll
off
just
that lip.
firebolt unless you want to use a
Yeah, I was thinking
damage.
of just firebolt, but I've
Yeah.
forgotten the thing.
What's
I don't know if they
Gotta roll to hit.
I know. Oh, this. 6 plus 6. 12.
It's a miss.
Oh.
But now you can look up the spell while you're waiting.
Initiative. Lou.
17.
Kalista.
10.
Wensu.
13.
Kira.
7.
Is it Kira or Kara?
Kara.
Shit.
It's alright.
K-A-R-A.
7.
Yeah, K-A-R-A. Kara, depending.
16.
Lou.
Alright, I'm gonna try and swing at him again.
There you go.
Yep, that's a 23.
It's a hit.
And the monk is down.
Why can't you guys, like, roll dice?
I don't
We're
know.
gonna have to get you guys dice boxes.
Yeah, 9.
Merry Christmas. Keep your shit on the table.
9.
Wow.
9. 9. You're
9.
Yeah.
9.
You've got the piece of paper.
9.
No.
Bad guys.
Alright, so the bad guy just kind of, as you swing your blade down and it kind of slices into the bones and everything, and it kind of shrinks back away from you and kind of giggles. Then all of a sudden, kind of like a weird blue mist just kind of vanishes.
The whole thing, even the body?
Yeah.
WTF, mate?
Well, it's not dead.
No, it is
It's
dead.
undead.
Its face is gone. It's dead.
We didn't re-dead it.
We did not read. This is bullshit.
That's what I'm trying to say here. Where'd it go?
I'm just upset because he could have left that cool dagger behind.
Alright,
Open
so it is now gone, and you now know that there is a hidden crawl space under the stairs there.
Passages.
That little creepy guy's coming out of.
Can I make a knowledge arcana check to see if I recognize the magic that was used to away? Is it just an undead ability or is it a spell, like an item kind of thing? 15?
You have no idea.
Okay, carry on.
So I'll go over to where you came out of and kind of crouch down and look and see where it goes.
You see a cobweb-filled crawl space, and on the other side, it looks like maybe like another small hatch or door that would lead into the adjacent room. This looks like it was primarily just a place to store stuff, but is now just filled with cobwebs.
So
You
I'll
see
turn,
spiders kind of.
turn to.
The fire.
I'm gonna turn to Lou and say, "Are you still planning on opening that door?
Oh, now.
Because I can go through this secret passage. Looks like it goes
That's
to
what
that
that
room."
sound was then.
Well, yeah, that's probably what.
Is the door still energized?
Does it feel cold at the door anymore?
No.
I'm not feeling any cold from here anymore.
Right,
I'm gonna open it up.
Okay. So you open it up, and you look into this dark, just completely decimated room. There's some tattered curtains that hang over the large windows that kind of cover that whole diagonal wall to the side. But anything that even resembled furniture is just completely mulched in this room. Nothing is identifiable as what it once was. There is about a 6-inch layer of just debris, broken pottery and glass and furniture, and it's just, it is a mess. Anything that you could potentially be in there, well, you'll have to actually do
Okay.
a search for it.
This room is trashed. There's nothing in here.
That we can see.
Well, but now we know that wherever it's cold and feels like that one of those creatures is going to be there.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Okay,
Are there any more noises from upstairs?
So
The whole place is eerily silent.
So stepping into the archway here, can we see, is there anything new in this area that I can see?
You don't see anything new. You can see the little bit of light that kind of comes through the glass arboretum down the hallway. You don't see any movements or shadows from that particular direction. You don't see any new tracks or anything that you can easily identify as other movement. The door to the small little office in the area where the chest was is still standing open,
Okay.
so that it doesn't appear to be disturbed. But the doors that went into where the cages were is still standing open.
Okay. And then we never went back here.
No, you never went
So
back to the back area.
Gotta go through those.
There's still a couple rooms in the back that we saw earlier when we freed the mother and father. Should we go check those out next?
Sure.
Alright, so I'm gonna make my way in, assuming they're gonna follow whatever order.
So everybody makes their way into what was once the grand dining room, which is now just a decimated prison. The cages that the mother and father were locked in are no longer hanging up above. They have been pulled down, and they seem to be either chopped or broken apart. So the bits and pieces of them just kind of like scattered about the room.
Someone's laying.
The door in the corner or in the far wall that you see stands slightly ajar, which it was not previously.
Okay.
From in there, you get like a very faint smell of ash.
Okay. And then my sword is out, so that is a light spell and stuff
Right.
too. So, but it doesn't feel cold.
Mm-mm.
All right, I'm gonna open the door.
Okay, so you open a door and you look at what appears to have been a small kitchen. Bits of pots and pans are scattered about the room, along with utensils and the like, none of which are in any kind of workable condition. The smell of ash seems to be from the fireplace, which looks like it's been recently disturbed. Bits of wood and stuff have been pulled out of it, and the ash and soot is kind of scattered out in front of it. Relatively fresh, so you see bits of it, parts of it that are dry, instead of the damp that seems to have creeped
Does
into
it look
everything
like
else.
there's any footsteps from the ash, like from which direction they went?
Out the door that you were standing at,
Okay.
and then once they get into the damper area, then they just kind
Right.
of disappear.
So, and this door is shut?
That door is shut. Unlike the other doors, this door seems to be more like the one that was locked, completely unaltered in any way. Hasn't been broken, though it doesn't have like a padlock or anything on it. But the door itself is in fairly good shape, considering the length of time that this place had been considered abandoned.
Kind of
Okay.
state of the other rooms that we've seen.
Yeah.
Other doors we've seen.
I'm gonna ask Wensu to check out the door just in case, since this one looks in good condition.
Alright. Inspect the door. And knock. 8.
Okay. You're looking it over. It doesn't have a lock on it, and you don't see any signs of any kind of traps or anything.
So it's just shut.
Yeah, it's just shut, from what you can tell.
Wired door.
Alright, well, I'm gonna open the door.
Alright, so you open a door and you look inside and you see kind of a long, narrow room with shelves on either side of it. At the far end is kind of a busted up barrel and some torn up burlap sacks that probably had maybe grain or flour in it at one point. Several jars line the shelves on either side, some of them in varying states of decay and broken, while some are intact and have some sort of contents, red liquids, possibly a jam or something. Looks like maybe some other vegetables like peas and that kind of thing that's basically been pickled, canned, and are inside this pantry.
Oh, my cabbages.
So it's a storeroom, and it appears to be.
Give me a perception check.
16.
At the far end of the room from where you're at, and kind of around where you saw where you can see the broken barrels and the sacks and stuff, you see what looks like a booted foot sticking out from behind one of the shelves.
Is it attached to it?
There seems to be someone or something laying in the back of the room. I'm gonna go check it out.
I'll go with you.
Okay, so you make your way in, Kara following in behind you. As you get around the corner, you see the skeletal remains of a dwarf. He's got several of the bones and stuff that you can see are kind of broken and everything. And he's his head is lolled back, and his jaw, the jawbone kind of hangs open, and it's like thick black, or what was once a coal black beard is just kind of covered and matted with dust and cobwebs and all that kind of stuff. You see a spider crawl out of the empty eye socket and into like the nose. He's wearing the remains of scale armor. There's a great axe laying on the floor next to him, just slightly out of reach of his gloved hand. But he looks to have died long, long ago.
Does he look similar to the dwarf I saw, the ghostly dwarf I saw earlier?
Yes.
Okay.
You recognize him, Lou?
Only from the ghostly figures I saw as we were heading back down the path.
Give me a perception check.
He looks like the dwarf I saw.
22.
So there's nothing we can do for him now. He's been dead a long while.
But is there a way to lay his body to rest or his soul to rest? If he's been raised from the dead, or it's a spirit technically that's been raised from the dead.
I know of no, spell-like means. I could say some prayers, but depending on how he was brought back, that probably won't do a whole lot. I mean, I will.
Do you want to let one of the mages take a look at him?
So, as you were kind of standing watch
Or
over by the
sorcerers
door,
and
you get
such.
a whiff of
Mage
something on the air. Something vaguely familiar. Smell of sulfur, ash, brimstone.
Demons.
Something that you haven't smelled in a while. One that you learned to fear back in the swamps when you were living in Blackwater. The red dragonborn have a scent to them. And they have no love for other dragonborn races. They were meant to rule, and they are willing to enforce that through force, if necessary. But you smell it, and you look up, and at the banister up above, you see the skeletal remains of this red dragonborn looking at you, silently, not moving, just staring.
I'm gonna reach behind my back. I'm gonna cast Prestidigitation and make a whole bunch of red sparks.
Right. As you do that, you see it just kind of nod in your direction, and just silently, in spite of its rather large size and the armor and everything that it's wearing, just kind of silently moves away and disappears into the shadows upstairs.
Are there doors on this room still? Or are these the doors that were broken down too?
No, the doors are open. Okay.
There's a red dragonborn warrior out there. He's not as dead as he looks.
And she can hear you right now.
That's kind of terrifying.
Yeah. Why don't you get Beefcake McMuscles out here?
Beefcake McMuscles.
Well, while that was going on,
All right.
I want to. I know it's probably not going to do much, but I'm going to make a religion roll to say a prayer over him,
The dwarf remains.
the dwarven remains, and trying to see maybe it'll do something. But either way, just in case, a 21 for religion, just to.
All right, so you're kind of looking over the body and you're kind of trying to remember like some of the more dwarvish based rituals, because they often build elaborate tombs and everything for their dead. But you try to remember the words to some of the various prayers and stuff that they make, and you say the words over this corpse.
And I do know Dwarven, so I'm going to speak of in Dwarven. Yeah.
Okay. You're not certain if it's had any effect, but you've definitely given it
My best shot.
a good shot at it.
Yeah. All right, with that done, I'm just gonna head back out now.
Okay. So you regroup with these guys, and you hear her talking about the red dragonborn. You saw it. You have seen that one before. You didn't see it this time, but you know exactly what she's talking about. And there's something about that particular one that just chills you to your core. It's something. I mean, you saw the little halfling and everything, and it was creepy. But there's something about the red dragonborn that just scares the hell out of you.
It's full of rage.
Once who doesn't like that one?
He doesn't like that one. Welcome to the club.
All right, well, I guess unless
Did
there's
you
anything
notice
else.
anything else with it? Or was it just
Eerily
Unmarked.
silent for the creature of its size. It was up on the banister.
Well, I saw the body of the dwarf at the other end of the
Did you
pantry.
take its head off?
No, but I saw the dwarf standing, so these are specters. They're not physical. So, of course, it would be silent because
It's not really there.
Well,
If it's not really there, then what fixed the door?
it's not. It
What
didn't
tried
get
to
fixed,
kill
it
us
just got
earlier?
closed.
Yeah, specters couldn't do that though.
I mean, I don't know.
and what tried to kill us earlier too?
Like, we know there's multiple things here. I mean, they could have closed the door when they left.
They did seem polite.
Like,
Peer out the crack in the door that I'm still watching.
but unless we have anything else to do down here, I think it's time to make our way upstairs.
Run. And this
All right. All right, let's take a quick break because I'm assuming somebody needs some coffee and or bathrooms and stuff.
Yes.
And this is a good spot to take
Sure.
a break and
Switch the map.
switch the map out.
Yeah.
So, splitting into two groups, each go up one side of the stairs, basically to maximize your opportunities of
Kicking
basically
ass.
attacking a foe from multiple angles. But you get up to the top and you see a hallway to either side of you, with four total sets of double doors. Directly in front of you is a large open area that goes to the main central room below. And then another set of double doors directly ahead of you on the other side of the walkway. Looking about, you don't see any tracks in the thick layer of like muck and dust that covers the floor. Not even from the small little plant creatures. It would appear that they have not been up here, at least not in a very, very long time. And whatever was moving around up here hasn't left any trace of their passing.
Definitely.
You do hear a slight whistling whine coming from the left side, possibly one of the side rooms over there. Almost like the wind blowing across a crack in a window.
my...
Did you have to see which direction your dragonborn friend went?
Just faded back into the darkness.
Because he would have been looking over from here.
The other side, actually.
Oh, the other
she
side.
would have been here. He would have been over
Yeah,
there.
over there. Okay.
Are you attacking the dark?
So I'm gonna kind of...
All right. Do you guys want to approach any of the doors?
I think we should check, but we should check like together. So
That's
like.
why I was gonna kind of come out and like back, both of us back that way to meet up with the group.
Yeah.
You're walking for her?
She's gonna back that thing up. It's fine.
I'm gonna tell her, it's like, let's go this way, or signal that we're gonna go back.
I have an
this way.
acid splash readied.
Okay. All right. So you guys are kind of on a little balcony, almost like a small bridge between two open areas that look down. One side looks into the entryway, and the other one looks into the central room of the tower. And about 15 feet total below you. Above you, you got about another 15 feet till the third story. These walls and everything here are very, very tall. Up here, unlike down below, there are still some tattered paintings, tapestries, broken oiled lamps, lots of cobwebs and everything that have kind of caked over everything. A lot of the bits and pieces of art are still in their spots.
What are the pictures of?
Mostly like landscapes, forest scenes, some of jungles. There's at either side of the set of double doors down there are very probably nice vases of some sort that have kind of a Kyotomese theme to them of basically clay with the flowers and everything painted on it. You recognize the style is because it's basically from where you're from.
Mm-hmm.
But they look very old. Obviously handmade. That means
Yeah.
not like they have machines to do it, but
Yeah.
It's not PC to call Warforged that.
And looking up, do we just have a ceiling, or can we see, or is there further up to the tower that?
now,
we
at
can
this
see from
point
there?
it's just flat floor above you.
Okay.
Or ceiling at this point.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I guess let's check out where the whistling's coming from, unless anyone has it. Like, we don't hear anything else, right? So we can't. There's
No.
nothing obvious that.
Yeah, just the whistling, and then of course the constant patter of rain outside. The occasional rolling of thunder, but nothing else.
All right. Well, let's go and check out one of those rooms.
All right, left or right side?
Does it sound like we can tell which one the whistling's coming from?
As you get closer to those doors, you are fairly certain that the sound is coming from the one on your right.
This one?
The basically what would be in the middle of the tower. And you can even feel a little bit of a breeze coming from underneath the door.
But it doesn't feel cold. That we can,
No colder than...
like the
it should.
unnatural cold.
Right.
Alright, so where does everyone want to be while we open this up?
I'll go over to the door with you.
All right, so Winsu, you approach the door and immediately begin the task of looking it over for traps, checking to see if it's even locked. Looking at it, you can tell that it has the potential to be locked.
Yeah, and maybe I know.
Hold on a second. All right, so you moved up to the door and you are listening in. You are about to check it for traps and stuff.
That's right, that works. That was mine. So, 22.
Looking it over, the
Yeah.
door does appear to be locked, but you do not notice any kind of traps or anything with it.
Right.
Unlike the doors downstairs, this door does not look like it's been disturbed. Not in a very very long time.
Alright.
Where's my move?
So then I will.
Where do you want to be?
Go to unlock it?
Right there.
Right here's good.
Yeah.
So your
Lockpicks.
thieves tools plus your dex modifier. So whatever your dex plus 2.
So 4 plus 2, so 6.
Mm-hmm.
17.
17. So you pull out your lockpicks and you're like, chick, 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 chick. And then you hear that nice little click as the tumblers all line up and the door becomes unlocked.
Okay.
Almost immediately after you unlock it, though, the pressure from inside because you can feel the air kind of blowing underneath the door and through the crack and everything. The wind pushes the doors open towards you. And you guys kind of sidestep as you see inside a tattered bedroom with the window itself seems to be in poor repair as the curtains are kind of blowing in the breeze. And you see a bed directly in front of you with a foot locker at the base of it, like a chest, like a cedar type chest. And then end tables on either side of it, and then like a large wardrobe on the wall opposite of the window. There are a number of vines and stuff that have crawled in through what looks to be the broken window off to the side, and just kind of pushed inside a little bit, but not very far, just enough to basically
No pods.
no pods of any kind, just vines.
Okay.
It is damp in here, where rain and stuff has been blowing in through the cracked window.
Bedroom.
Might have found our.
Yeah. Possibly.
Oh, really?
But there's so wardrobe, footlocker, bed,
2 end tables.
2 end tables. But
No
nothing-
writing desk or anything of that nature.
Okay. I suppose when we can come back and check this out later if we need to.
Do we want to check the bed?
If we don't have time for that.
Why do you want to check the bed?
Because if her body's laying on it,
You can't see in there?
it's a bed. I can't. It's probably. I'm assuming it's probably got like. Is it a banister bed or is it just?
Yeah, it's got like the curtains and everything that hang
See.
over it.
Are they closed?
I got the.
They are not closed, but the bed is rumpled enough that you can't really tell whether or not there's a skeleton in it or not.
I guess you can go and check it out. I'll go over and take a closer look at the bed and see if there's a body actually on it.
Okay. You go over and you're looking at it, and you do not find the skeletal remains of a woman or any other creature for that matter. You are kind of looking at it. There looks like at some point somebody was laying in this bed because it's kind of got that kind of sunken in, decayed sheets and all that kind of stuff. But you can't. But there's no corpse there.
Okay. Oh yeah. Excuse me. I'll just come back out and say there's nothing there. Just can check the other room.
Okay. I'll go up to the other door meanwhile while they're doing that.
Okay.
Whoever moved. I don't want to be that. I figured as much. Is that coming from that door?
You hear like the same kind of almost childlike babbling coming from in there, and as you approach the door, you watch as you see frost covering the door, and your breath begins to show in the air.
So they're inside this room?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna go follow inside there real quick and let them know that the door across the hallway is cold
Occupied.
and I'm hearing voices, so there's someone in there again. If there's nothing in here, we could go over there.
Yeah. Alright, so I'll come back out to the hall. If you didn't want to be by the door, I can go ahead and be the first
Okay,
contact.
swatch
if you want to
you two
swap.
out. Alright.
I'm gonna try opening the door.
As you reach out for it, you can see that there's like a thin layer of ice forming on the door handle, complete with like little tiny icicles.
Okay. I've got gloved hands, so.
Okay. So you reach out, you turn the knob, or it's like a lever latch.
Mm-hmm.
You pull it down, and the ice and stuff kind of breaks away, and you pull the door open, and you see an empty bedroom, much like the room that you were just in, a little bit smaller. Instead of a basically like a queen size bed, there's like a single with a little writing stand off to one side in this corner over here. There's a big window that basically kind of along this side. The bed is over here to the basically on your left, but side of the room.
Okay.
And there's heavy curtains across the window. But you don't see any sign of movement.
Well, it's empty.
Is it still cold? Spooky.
It's not empty.
What's under the bed? Is it above the ground?
Yeah, but you can't see under the bed. The blankets and everything that cover the bed go all the way to the floor.
Can I try talking again?
You can talk all you want.
Hello? Anybody in here?
Shall we play a game?
There's nobody here. And then you hear small footsteps somewhere off over here running away. And then you hear a door open and slam shut.
Once we have all the books out of this place, let's just burn it down.
Well, whatever's toying with us isn't here any longer.
No, but that means it's out.
I still want to check under the bed, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so you creep up to the bed. You kind of put your hand out there.
No, not my hand. Do I look like I want to die? No.
I don't know, you're checking under the bed.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out one of my daggers and use that to flip up the covers. I ain't touching
Okay, so
shit.
you reach out with your dagger to flip up the covers. As you flip it up, you're confronted by the skeletal face of a halfling. Long, long dead, completely covered in cobwebs and mold and mildew, and just looks as though the halfling was hiding underneath the bed when it died.
Can I make a medicine check to see how long it's been dead, based off the decay? 11?
About 9 years? Almost 10? Almost 10. Not quite.
Does he look like he has anything valuable on him?
He's got really badly decayed studded leather armor. There's a dagger, like it was huddled up like this, and there's a dagger with a curved blade clutched in its like bony hand. And then there's a pouch on its belt. The pouch is cloth and probably not in the best condition. Probably fall apart if you go to pick it up or move it.
I'm gonna poke the pouch.
And there's also a backpack that's basically kind of shoved up underneath the bed back behind it.
I'm gonna poke the pouch with my dagger. Does it jingle at all?
It does.
Okay. Can I basically use my dagger to drag it out towards me?
Yeah, you go to drag it out, and as you pull on it, the bag just kind of tears apart, and some coins scattered out onto the floor underneath it.
How about the dagger? Can I get the
Take
dagger
the
out?
dagger
I'm gonna
out of
try
his
and get
hand. Alright, so you take this curved bladed dagger out of the hand, and as you kind of have to pry it loose, you break the fingers off and everything. You now have this dagger. It has kind of a silvery green sheen to the metal.
Neat. Alright, I'm gonna flop the blanket back down and walk out.
Okay.
As I walk past Wensu, I'm gonna hand him the dagger, though.
You recognize the dagger.
I recognize the dagger.
Yeah. The little halfling skeleton that you were fighting before had a dagger just like this.
Oh, okay.
You were mad. He disappeared and you couldn't take his dagger. Here you go.
Flip it around.
He doesn't need it anymore.
So is the sheen on it
the metal or
age,
poison?
or is it poisoned or magical?
You want to check that? Before you flip it around?
I would flip it and keep catching the hilt of it, not the
Till you feel your dex save.
like that. What would it be to check it?
For what?
Arcana.
Arcana.
And if you're checking it for magic, otherwise it'd just be intelligence.
Or appraisal, right?
Well, there's no
There is
appraised
no
skill.
appraisal. That's why it's intelligence.
Ugh, this game.
Well,
It'd just be intelligence if you're looking for poison. So what are you
Because-
trying
yeah,
to do?
I was looking for
Because you could probably do investigate for poison, but
Yeah.
intelligence. You mean? So that's
Which
3.
investigations?
Yeah, investigation.
He's a lot smarter than me. I just punched.
Doesn't appear to be poison. It's some quality, some sort of quality to the metal itself.
Okay.
My modifier is 1.
Now there is something you do notice about it. It's almost sickle-like in that the blade is curved, kind of like a hook,
And kukri?
but it's only the inside edge is the only sharp edge. The back of it is dull.
Okay.
yeah, I would see if it was magical. If that halfling was probably an adventurer.
Do you want me to check it?
My Arcana is not that much, so
Neither
thanks.
is mine. I have 3.
Mine's a 3 also.
Who has a high arcana?
She should.
Just looking at the dagger just to do a quick assessment. 23.
Yeah, you're fairly certain it's magical.
It's magical. Don't cut yourself. Let's check the rest of the floor.
Yeah. So do we want to go around here, or do we want to go to the opposite end of this hallway?
I think we should clear the hallway first.
All right. So.
I don't want anything coming up behind us.
Yeah, that's okay. I was like,
I'll-
am I playing footsie with
Especially
Ian or
after
what?
hearing that door.
I'll take the lead and start walking
No, I'm
across
kicking the cat.
to this door.
She likes it.
So you walk over there. What's your marching order? Pay attention to this.
I'm
not
by the
cat.
stairs. That's me.
So you want to bring up the back?
Or do you want to be near up front?
I'm gonna be behind
No, I'll
you,
bring
Kara.
up the, no, I'll bring up the back. He needs to check doors, so.
And I'm gonna be behind Winston. Like,
Behind
next
Winston?
to you.
I mean, these are like 2 abreast, so you can go. You can go.
I know, but I
We don't
see
gotta
it.
march single file.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
we
know.
do.
I know.
So-
to done we go.
Give me a perception check.
10.
Anyone else? Or
The
just
character's
her?
basically
Just her.
blind tonight.
Actually, I'll allow you at disadvantage
I
though.
am a ninja.
Disadvantage. You got
14. 47. So 14.
Okay, so you do not know this.
You took his shit.
All right, you feel a blade slide into you and hear this voice. You desecrate my body? I'll kill you. And it does stab you with its blade. And we'll get its sneak attack damage.
Bye, guys.
12, 17 plus 2 is 19 points of piercing damage.
I literally have 1 hit point left.
As it just slides the blade into you, and it's just ranting. You broke off my fingers! You took my blade! You left my corpse to rot! You left me! You left me! You left me!
Initiative.
Where were you?
Lou.
9.
Callista.
20.
Wensu.
24.
Show off. Kara.
13.
Bad guy.
7.
Or slightly disgruntled guy. Wensu.
So we lose.
No,
Timer?
I'm pretty sure in 5th it's free movement to go through friendlies.
It is not.
Really? I've looked it up.
It is
I thought I looked it up.
Look it up again.
But you guys are not in squares, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna move you forward a little bit so you're actually in squares.
That was it's a side effect of being a halfling.
And being a
right?
halfling, you get to
Yeah.
move through
Bigger people.
bigger
for free.
people.
That's right.
Since he's half
Me.
size.
Otherwise,
does that
it
count?
would be 2 otherwise. So that's moving
So-
through a friendly would be 2.
So
You still
2,
have
so
one.
1, 2, 3.
No, is his spirity self or is this his bony self?
It looks like a skeleton,
Does it have the dagger?
just as I described it before. Yes. Yeah, it stabbed you with it.
Okay, so it doesn't have a different dagger. It's stabbing me with the dagger that he has.
Yeah.
Because it's a ghostly apparition. Yeah.
Okay. Are you gonna
So-
stab it?
Yeah. Is talking use any?
You can.
Yeah, you can talk
Mhm.
all you like.
So
Talk
if
shit, get hit.
Before I attack him, I'm just. How can we help you? He's gonna stand there staring at me.
Yeah, you can't do anything until it's turn.
Well, now I'll attack him, I guess. Then since I have to ask him, or I can hold.
You can hold, or you can
Yeah,
take your
because
action.
I can hold my action, but I can't.
You can't hold movement.
Can't hold movement. Okay. So yeah, I'll hold my action then. I won't attack him just yet, because I asked him. What can
Okay.
we do to help you?
Who are next?
Callista and Thea Simo.
I'm gonna speak to it as well. Is there anything we can do to help? Can we do anything? No. I'm gonna hold my action for now. I don't need to move.
Okay.
You're not gonna cast a spell or anything.
Not yet.
Actually, I should have looked at Erythian. I wonder, because I'm assuming. Well,
Can that be
I'm
said?
Racial stereotyping?
I'm stereotyping him, but I
Can
mean.
that be said in primordial as well?
And you're saying it in primordial?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, because he's a spirit. Or not
I think
primordial,
he
excuse
knows-
me, infernal.
I think he knows the
Infernal
languages.
is for devils.
Oh,
Yeah. I think he knows the languages he knew in life.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
that's basically how
Then
it.
common, I
You,
guess.
you know he speaks common.
I
He
speak
was
in
just saying it.
common. Speaking common.
This thing just almost killed me, and slipped at me out of nowhere, so I'm gonna stomp and cast Thunderwave at it. Using the shape spell to exclude Wensu.
I'm saying, you're
Okay.
trying to knock me down the stairs or what?
No, that'd be rude.
Alright. It's got what? Make a saving throw? DC
Mhm.
13?
Yeah.
What? Dex?
Constitution.
Ooh. It will. 13? It will fail.
Okay.
So is it
Yeah, moving through a non-hostile creature is difficult terrain.
Oh, okay. Because I was pretty sure halflings have a special ability
They
specifically
do.
for that.
But it's
But
the way it's written is very unclear. I had to go over the passage a couple times.
5 points of damage, and he's moved 10 feet back. So would he move
So
you're
into
back
or
from-
through Wensu?
No, he would just be there then.
Okay.
Because I don't think he's going to, unless it specifies in there, I don't think he's going to move through an
Just hits
object.
me.
So just mark down the damage that you did.
Starting over.
I will
fresh
say
with
that
his hit
he-
point count.
I will say that he's not prone though.
Okay. I like that.
Since basically he can move, he basically just gets knocked down.
Okay.
This seems fair.
So Callista and Thea went. Wensu's holding his action. Kara's turn.
I'm punching.
Punch
Because
a
that's
bitch.
what I do.
Yeah.
I just stab you, so I'm punching. 17.
I think you have advantage if he's prone. Pretty sure you have advantage on a pro target.
Okay,
So,
I got a 17 and a 16.
well, you hit either way, so it doesn't really matter.
For 11 points.
11 points.
11 more points. 16 total.
There's no-
After Kara, it's Lou's turn.
Alright, I'm gonna
He's
move,
googling prone at the moment.
I'm
We're
gonna,
not going to worry
I'm gonna
about it
move
for-
up.
Well, he wants to hit him, so he needs to know.
Well,
Well, I gave her
What's your
advantage.
movement?
I can move up to here.
Up to
That's
here.
fine. So
Advantage.
advantage just so 7 plus 7 is 14.
Hit.
58. Plus 11.
27 points of damage.
Okay. And whose turn is it?
It is now Shorty McAngrydead's turn.
Alright. So, Shorty and McAngry Dead will again dissipate like before. Just like this cloud of mist, icy cold, just kind of blue light just kind of fades away.
Can I stab at it with the dagger as it dissipates?
No, because it's not your turn.
Well, it's like an attack of opportunity.
You don't
You
have
don't
the
get
dagger
one.
anymore.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If I'm trying to establish if it's
No,
a spell or a dead thing by taking attack of opportunity. If
But
I
you
can't
don't
take
get
one.
Because it's not
You don't have
moving
the
away
It's
from
not
you.
moving. It's like
no,
if,
but if you cast a spell in base contact.
No, you don't
No.
get attack of opportunity if someone does that. They just have disadvantage when they
yeah,
cast a spell.
because there's
Oh.
spells now like Misty Step and stuff that allow you to get out of combat by casting a spell and going away.
Yeah. I love Misty Step. It's basically GTFO. If we're done with initiative though,
Nobody contact. Okay.
what, they dissipated?
So what are you guys doing now?
Subject change, so.
Misty Step. Look it up.
No, I know what it does.
Okay.
But I still think I should have gotten an attack of opportunity.
That's not how it works.
You don't have the dagger either.
I have a dagger.
She has her
you were
own.
talking about. I thought you were talking about.
No,
the other
it's just
dagger.
dagger.
I was
Oh, I
like,
get
that's
that one. The
wrong
one that
Anyway.
I used to flip up the trait sheets.
He is gone. We are running out of time.
I guess I'm gonna try and stop the bleeding, because that's about all I've got.
Okay. So you start trying to bandage yourself.
I want to use Divine Sense and see if I can. So it's within 60 foot of me. Any celestial fiend or undead that is not behind total cover, I can sense if they're there.
Alright.
The whole building goes.
Well, no, the whole building can't because
There's
the
a
room
lot
is
of there's a
total
lot of total cover.
Yeah,
You do not sense the presence of an undead creature.
but if he was a ghostly and still up here, I could sense him.
Yeah, as long as he's not behind something,
Not behind total cover.
right?
Yeah,
Like in a room or
yeah.
whatever.
He probably is. Or downstairs.
Okay.
So what are you guys doing?
Check those other two doors over there. The two sets.
So
Back to where we were.
I am going to lay hands on Caliste, use all my lay on hands, so you have 15 hit points back.
Woohoo! Thank you.
Use my entire pool. Just to,
Okay.
that's all I have
Make
for
sure she
healing.
doesn't bleed to death.
I'll save you a fireball.
Alright.
Let me
So you just walk away and go over towards the other door?
No, we're just trying to discuss with them. Where do you guys think that we should look? I mean, we're mainly.
Wincy walks by her and goes, "Stop touching dead bodies," and moves past.
I noticed you kept the dagger.
Shiny, yes.
She kind of rolled her eyes.
I think it would have attacked us either way. But
Maybe less angry.
He's short, so he's gonna be angry.
I
Pick a
guess
door.
if
Open
there's
it.
nothing else, I guess we'll go and check out the other room here.
Alright. As you're approaching that door, perception check.
Motherfucker.
Perception check.
Nice.
20.
4.
You don't notice it,
I've been
but you
stabbed.
see it when it reappears and says, "Again, you leave me!" It just goes to stab you. Oh, God. And he's going to stab you again.
Yeah, you're dead.
Nine, 10, 11, 12, plus 2, 14.
You got one.
Two.
I'm down to 2 hit
Oh,
points
okay.
this time.
If you burn a body, does anyone notice if it I know I'm going.
I'm pretty sure if you have
How
salt.
far away did I get before it attacked again?
You're like all the way down there.
You have to have salt and burn the body, just like in
Supernatural. Yeah, that's how it works.
If it well, that's how-
Initiative.
Fucking A.
Oh, damn it!
So
I know
he
what.
walked by me though to go
He
hit
just
her.
appeared.
Oh,
He
just
didn't
appeared.
walk past
He
you.
doesn't like me. Lou,
9.
Callista,
3.
Wensu, Kara,
21.
show off. That guy's
6.
angry short people. Jesus.
It's
Kara.
gonna take a second.
He hit you.
Take time.
Me?
Yeah, he stabbed you. I'm gonna get it.
Oh, okay. I thought you said I hit you.
No, no. Damn this. And then I'm gonna spend a key
I know
point
what
to
to
get
do. a second.
That's gonna miss.
Gotta run downstairs.
Why?
There's a
Another
pantry
11.
downstairs.
There's a what?
There's a pantry downstairs, which
11
means there's
points.
likely salt downstairs.
Start fresh.
He keeps saying that
We're leaving.
we're leaving him, which means we should pick up his bones and take him
I'm
with
gonna-
us.
That's what I'm gonna do after this is go into the room and
Lesson.
pretty much do what I did with the door.
I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna thunderwave him again.
Okay.
So DC 13 con save.
Yeah,
Nice.
he fell.
10 foot.
Yeah. Nice. 10 points of damage. So he's up to 21 total.
Okay.
Who's next?
Lou.
All right, Lou.
5, 10, 15, 20. He's right there.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna attack him for now. Just attack the spirit. Oof. 12.
Miss, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Wensu and Short Angry Man are Simo.
All right, Winsu. What's your plan?
Guess I have to help attack him.
With his own dagger.
Okay. There. I don't know the attack
Yeah,
on
it
that
works.
dagger though.
Because of the diagonals.
I'll attack him.
Stab him.
It's 24.
Did you crit him?
That's a hit.
No. I rolled an 18.
So, is that sneak attack?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm right there.
Can I be 40?
You did well though.
15.
All right, 15 points of damage. Mark that down.
Yeah,
36.
Then on its, and it again, this cloud of cold, icy mist, and he vanishes.
I'm gonna say to Lou and say, didn't you pray over that dwarf that we found?
Yeah, I was gonna do that now. So I guess whenever I can act again, whenever I'm gonna go.
If once it's gone, then
Okay.
this,
So I'm gonna go back into that room.
Wensu, go put
I'm
the
just
dagger
going
back.
to push
you.
the bed,
Okay, just shove the bed out of the
push
way.
the bed over.
Okay, you see this for the first time. You see this corpse of a halfling, just curled up in like a fetal position, almost like a child died in a state of absolute terror. And its broken little finger bones kind of laying off to the side of it.
I'm going to put the finger bones back as best as I can, just to kind of, counteract any desecration of the corpse, so to speak.
Right.
I guess it's up to Wensu if he wants to get the dagger back or not. I'm not sure it's going to matter a whole lot, but
Okay.
I'm going to...
That thing kept saying you took his dagger. Go put the dagger
I didn't
back.
take it.
Okay, well someone took it. Go put it back so it can be blessed.
What if I give him my dagger?
It's a nice dagger.
I'm gonna put my fist up. Go put it back.
Do your religious check.
I'll do my religious check.
I'll put the dagger.
Natural 20.
You have to bury
Nice.
him with a set of Russians.
You actually remember presiding over a halfling funeral at one point. Being from the area, there's actually a lot of halflings that live in Calmoria, so you're very familiar with their customs and everything, and you feel that the dagger, mostly once they die, their possessions are kind of divvied up and kind of given away. So it's not they're not they like to collect things, but they know they can't carry it with them. So they like to collect things and then give it to friends and family and stuff when they pass. So you're not too worried about the dagger, but you know a kind of a jovial kind of a song that basically goes along with a halfling funerals and stuff like that. It's popular, and you kind of do you want to sing it or do you want to recant it as like a poem?
I
You've
guess
heard it done both. I don't know how comfortable your character is with singing, so.
Character-wise, especially as part of his beliefs, song is a very big part about like the oath of the ancients and bringing light and music and all this stuff to the world.
Okay.
So I think a song would be appropriate.
Okay. You sing this little funeral song. It's actually kind of an oddly happy, cheerful kind of song. And the little bit of cold that kind of lingers in the area kind of dissipates.
Yeah.
So you gonna scoop up those coins?
I personally am not, but I'll make it clear that if anyone wants them, it's not gonna be inappropriate.
Okay. Oh, and there's also the backpack that, when it had hidden underneath the bed, it kind of shoved its pack kind of up in there. So there's also a backpack laying there.
But yeah, I tell Wensu that it's fine if he keeps the dagger. It's appropriate for halfling culture to give out their belongings when they pass.
Good to know.
I'll pick up the coins and
I have sat down in the
There's
hallway.
about 34 gold coins. Just gold, no silver or copper.
in the backpack.
The backpack is in tatters, but it does have some potions and stuff in it. Red ones, 5 of them.
We should give
Whispering.
we should give a couple of those to Calliste right now.
As I walk out, I'm like,
Oh, thanks. She has 2 volumes, quiet and mute. So, like,
I put them, or will they fit in that belt pouch thing that I found?
Yeah.
Okay, so I start put one more in there, and then I have, so that would leave 2 more left. So who else is badly injured right now?
Not
Nick,
badly,
no.
but I keep getting hit. I'm like usually in the front. So.
And
Yeah, I was gonna
you?
say give it to the people that
So
are
that's
in
what?
the front.
And you
2
guys?
and 4?
2d4 plus 2.
I'm usually
Thank
in the
you,
middle.
I think you need it probably more than what else.
9.
If you need another, I will. Because I still have 2 potions right now that I'm holding on to, but I tend to get the crap stabbed out of me too.
No.
So
It
Yeah,
is
1, 2, 3.
11:54. Did I take
Okay.
1 potion or 2?
you took 2.
I
You
took
just
2.
drank 1.
You
You
just
drank
drank
3,
one so
4.
far.
You have 1 potion left.
There was 5 total.
Oh, did you give him one or no?
So 2, 3, 4, and then I had 1. I already had 1 earlier that was still in the
Oh,
belt
okay.
pouch.
That's right.
So I have 2 healing potions right
It's
now.
not bad.
on
And
all.
that little poison.
Right?
And I have
Nice.
poison, yeah. But I gotta make sure that I don't grab that one.
Alright. So with the ending of the song, and you kind of gather up some coins, and you're looking at the backpack and take the stuff, and that little bit of the oppressive weight that seemed to linger in this area kind of lifts. And you guys prepare to move forward, onwards with your quest to find the remains of the old woman, which you presume is probably on the 3rd floor.
Yeah.
But it's smart to check what's going on down here, as you've already been accosted a couple of times by some of the lingering spirits of the house.
Fucking dude.
But you hear a deep, rumbling growl somewhere further in the darkness, and the smell of sulfur and brimstone permeates the air around you.
So my feathers all.
And then that's where we'll pick up next time we get to play.